Hi guys, I'm Katie from Parapsis Press,
I'm David.
and we are going to do another chill stream building our Lego Rivendell set. I didn't get to streaming last night, so this is not really a replacement, but at least to see you guys. So just a quick recap. We are building the Lord of the Rings Rivendell Lego set that has a total of 6,167 pieces. And we've just built this portion here and these windows. And today we're going to be doing some roof. And you can see here what we have. Hi, Skunks Workshop. Ooh, what are you writing? They may be interested. All right, we're going to be opening. I said 9. Now I hope I don't have to edit that. This box is huge. Uh-oh. Where did I put the booklet? Hey, babe. I left the instruction manual on that table. Thanks. $18.46. $9. There it is. And we are switching it up. We put the camera between us. We'll see if that causes problems. And but we should have a upright, hopefully a better view of what we're building. We'll see here. Skunk Workshop, yes, 6,000 pieces. And a script to motion comic is what he's working on tonight. That's kind of cool.
All right, I'm gonna move the minifigures out of the way and move this so we can move back and forth here. Yeah, so it looks like with this step, we're gonna be building a little. YouTube always lags behind a little bit. We're gonna be building a little chunk of rough because this whole end piece is kind of a separate module in the set. So we're building the first little chunk of rough. And one thing about this set is it has a lot of these really small 1x1 tiles for the roof. And I'm not sure if it's supposed to represent an actual pattern of colored tiles on the roof or it's supposed to look like leaves on the roof.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Or what, but it has a very distinct look to it. So it's going to be interesting to start with that. There is a lot of pieces on the roof, but it's not the only thing that makes the piece count of the set what it is.
It looks like it represents some of the actual pattern
Okay.
that the roof had. I don't know if I can share that.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
You don't have to show it. We can just.
Okay.
I just was.
Yeah.
Thinking out loud.
It's kind of a cool.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. You don't really see Rivendell up super close in the movie.
Yeah.
It's more of a.
Some more tiny pieces.
Yeah, I'm also some of these over here. And let's hand off after every pair of pages, okay?
Sounds good. After every pair, or
yeah. So you do these two, then I'll do the next two.
Got it. I will not forge ahead.
Hey, Timo. Well, at this rate, we'll be done by the fall.
It's gonna take us a good long while.
It's kind of fun to just enjoy this set over a wide period of time. I typically, once I start building a Lego set, I finish it within a couple days. Some sets I've taken longer for, but this is the first set that we've streamed building.
Mm-hmm.
So we probably haven't, we could have fit more of it in different places if.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. William Rankin says, good thing the weather at Rivendell is nice all year round. Is it? And they're there in the fall in the book, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like September.
And then they pass back through.
In the spring.
I think in the spring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they do live like right on the edge of the mountains, so they could potentially get bad weather, I suppose.
All right, why don't you start in there?
Yes, sir.
You can take the manual over on your side if you want, or build on the side. I'm not sure how you want to
I'll
do
try
it.
and build up on top of it.
Or we could go like that as well. I think that these roof tiles are actually going to go really fast.
You think so?
Yeah, I think people made a big deal out of how
so many.
Yeah, but the thing with 1x1 tiles is they can only go on one way,
I suppose.
So you can lay a lot of them maybe in the time that would take to build some bigger pieces. Timo wonders if there's more conservatives posting L's. Well, yeah,
Yes.
There was a couple of pastors over the weekend who thought it would be a good idea. They woke up on the Lord's Day and were like, what should I tweet today that would be edifying to the body of Christ? And decided that they should tell people not to play video games. So there's that. Here,
Sorry.
yeah, watch it. So let's see if I'm on. Yeah, other than that though, Twitter's been kind of
Yeah.
I don't know, not a whole lot going on, and that's fine by me. I kind of have been trying to get back into my creative projects, and kind of decided that I need to ease up on Twitter a little bit, if I want to make any headway, because it's easy. Like I don't have a lot of time, so I mainly the time I have to work on stuff is like the time in between things, and it's easy for just all of that to get eaten up with Twitter. And then when I actually get focused time to like have that be interrupted with Twitter, so I've been trying to cut back, but that's been easy because not a whole lot has been going on this week.
Yeah, I got on Twitter today and I was telling David, like I was scrolling for maybe 5 minutes and saw 2 different posts with different stories about somebody killing a baby, and I was like, I think this is a sign I need to just not today.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, you either disagree or agree with that stuff. To me, it's like tweeting a photo of it doesn't really help anyone.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I guess you can do whatever you want with your Twitter. And there's probably a place for that stuff, but
Yeah. It's the kind of thing that spikes my anxiety. And to be clear, these weren't like abortion posts. These were like legit.
oh, like the baby in the wastebasket.
Yep,
things.
that one was one of them. Another daycare
Did that
lady.
baby actually die?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
didn't
did
follow
not
it.
read it. I mean,
Yeah.
like I can't do this. Oh yes, I have my hair down today because I took a shower right before the stream.
Oh, that's why it smells in here.
Thanks very much. All right, looks
our
like
our bathroom with where the shower is right next to our room downstairs.
Blue. And I am not gonna be. It's telling me that I don't have to be super careful.
So you can the instructions kind of shows how to do this. So you can put them on and not worry about lining them up super well, and then go through with a long piece. So
just gonna sort of try to get them in the generally correct direction. What usually happens is I usually take a shower in the morning, and I have some more blue, please. And then when my hair gets in the way, I put it up. And then I don't take it down again.
I just don't take a shower. Somebody, I think it was Matt Krotz, had a tweet the other day like, what have you given up in your life because you just don't have the time for it anymore? And I realized too late that my answer for that is showering.
I suppose. 2, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. 2.
Yeah.
Did I get that right?
Let's see here. Yep. Looks right to me.
Yes.
All right. Now you just have to follow along. Are you going to straighten those out first? Because
I forgot.
You have all kinds of.
I have so much.
So this looks just like you kind of follow along the edge with
one stud in between, basically.
Yeah.
that right? Yes. Okay. And then a group of 4.
Mm-hmm.
There. Okay.
All right, now I want to see how this works, if this actually works or not.
Okay. Hmm.
You're gonna give up? So you can't maybe straighten it with the thing, but you can use the piece as a guide.
Maybe if you
to straighten it.
started at one end and like slid it, sort of.
Well, I'm gonna just try with my fingers here because I think I can get it. I can get it pretty close. I can get it closer,
and
then we can go from there. That might need to be
might
a
need
little
to be
bit
a little
closer.
bit closer.
Yeah. Yeah, that works pretty well. I think you can also just sort of go over it just by eye and whatever. Maybe using like this might work too. Yeah, that works pretty well. So I'm using this as a guide, and then I'm using the brick separator to turn. Yeah, that's
the way to do it.
That's the way to do it.
Nice. You gotta show it all lined up.
Yeah.
When you get it.
Yep.
It's very, very gratifying.
We'll go back down the other diagonals too here. And this, these are on the roof, so this is something that's easy to fix later too.
Yeah.
You don't have to obsess about it right now. Yeah, so there's that looking a lot better.
Very nice.
Okay. Okay, so now I've got some additional patterns to make here, it looks like. So
I think the only other thing that's really been happening lately on Twitter is the sensitivity readers thing.
Is that a thing or just something that you're doing?
What?
Well,
did I invent drama? Is that what you're asking?
yeah. I mean, you're not the only one commenting on it, but they weren't like picking a fight.
No. They did. Well, they didn't think they were picking.
You and some other people were kind of the ones that picked that fight.
Yeah.
I don't care. I mean, in my opinion, old pub or trad pub or whatever is kind of dead.
Mm-hmm.
They can, or it's dead to me. It's not actually dead. They can do what they want if they wanna hire sensitivity readers. They can do that. I'm not interested in trying to traditionally published. So, people using sensitivity readers isn't really of any concern to me.
Yeah. It just bothers me that, because they were marketing to authors.
Oh, yeah.
And that bothers me.
Well,
Because,
again, some people you can't fix, right?
yeah.
They're marketing to people who are also so far up their own butts that they think that how they're going to get people to read their book is paying somebody to self-edit and then trying to build a Twitter following and then trying to get an agent and then trying to get it published by a small publisher or a big publisher or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
These aren't.
It's kind of a process that has been around so long that everyone just assumes that it continues.
Yeah. And I mean, they might be, this works really well to align with using the brick separator. They might be, it's not like those people are necessarily don't know any better either, right?
Mm-hmm.
They might look down their nose at indie publishing or have terrible opinions themselves or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of think about that, whenever I see people on Twitter, some writing community NPC is tweeting about how they got another rejection or something, and all of the superversive authors are self-published, and it's well,
yeah.
I mean, it's not my job to tell them to do that, I guess. They might already have some reason that seems good to them for why they're not doing that.
Yeah, I suppose.
Because there's so much information about self-publishing, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's so many people who make a business and make a living and even build an audience of authors, build an audience of readers by telling authors how to self-publish, right? So, it's not like that information is hard to find at this point.
Yeah.
Amazon has so many tools and resources. There's so many courses.
Yeah. William Jeffrey Rankin says they're preaching to the choir.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how
Timo says they weren't picking a fight, but Katie finished it. Nice reference.
We were both sort of talking to our separate audiences. They didn't engage with me at all.
I saw one of them blocked you. Which is a fair thing for them to do, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we have fundamental disagreements.
Yeah, and that's why I kind of don't engage with that stuff. Is like Doug Weiss says, pile more weights on trad pub as it totters, but it is funny to poke the hive every once in a while. Yeah, and I agree.
Yeah, that's.
I prefer laughing from the sidelines while somebody else pokes the hive and let them get stung.
Our daughter got a new book it was like a gift book, not from somebody, but from an event. And I just was reminded of, there's this one picture in it.
What is that? The one that she got from the doctor?
Yeah, I think so.
They give books at the doctor's office
for well child checkups.
Yeah,
to get you coming in for your vaccines.
Please don't talk about vaccines.
Yes, sir.
YouTube listens. There's certain words that
I'm not. I'm saying that
the algorithm will detect and do stuff with. So
I'm not saying anything controversial. I'm just saying, we went to the doctor and we got a book. It's a book about a little bear, and at the beginning of the year, the bear is too small to reach the beehive and get the honey, and by the end of the year, he's grown and he can reach the hive. And the picture is of the bees still flying up way over his head, smiling while he's sitting down on the ground eating honey. And I'm like, why are these bees so happy? This is not realistic at all. See, modern children's books would have you believe that all of nature is perfectly happy all the time. This would not occur in a Beatrix Potter. It's because I said a bad word.
Yeah. I feel like maybe it's loosened up a little bit lately, but still.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely topics that you can't, and I mean, we're not monetized, so it probably doesn't matter, but still.
That looks really cool.
Yeah, it's got a nice texture to it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
All right, and then okay, one more row of orange, another kind of green square here, and then some tiles
Down the sides. These are kind of an interesting pick for these tiles down the side.
Yeah, they use those little quarter circle ones.
I suppose.
I'm not the hugest fan of those.
Yeah. What would be the alternative though?
Just more of these. Oh no, I know why they did that, because they can't stick over the edge on the inside. That's why they did that. Because this is gonna butt up against the tower.
It needs to slide.
Yeah. Usually there's a good reason for what they do.
Yeah.
But
Doug Wise points out in Beatrix Potter, they regularly allude to cooking and eating the main characters in a significant portion of the stories. Yes, I was surprised when I started reading them again to my girl. Just how kind of open they are about it. Like, and I kind of started paying more attention to it because my mom has a adaptation of Squirrel Nutkin, and I heard her reading it to my daughter and saw on the cover that it was adapted, and I was like, why? So then when we went home, I pulled out my copy and was reading it, and not only do the squirrels like go to the island to pick nuts and try to appease this owl so he will not eat them, but they also bring him gifts, one of which is a dead mole. Like, they legit bring another dead creature. How's it looking?
good. The other thing about Beatrix Potter is just how naughty a lot of the characters are. It's the two bad mice.
Mm-hmm. That one's kind of fun. How naughty they are. Most of the story is them just throwing a giant fit and trashing the dollhouse. Beatrix Potter's characters also have a very complex relationship with clothes. Like the two bad mice steal the doll's clothes, and that's what they wear at the end. Before that, they're both just regular mice.
Naked.
And then there's like Peter Rabbit and Benjamin Bunny who go out of the house wearing clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Peter who
They're like,
loses his jacket.
There's some ducks or the ducks steal their clothes or
The
something.
ducks steal the kitten's clothes.
Yep. And then there's also the Mrs. Tiggy Winkle. And in that story, it's kind of like sort of a dreamlike interaction between a human child and the hedgehog, who's bigger than normal. And she washes clothes of animals that are actually like parts of the animals' bodies.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, like the kittens.
Yep.
The kittens' gloves.
Yep. The
All right, I think that's done.
All right. Very nice.
We can tweak the squares more later too. I don't want to obsess over it right now.
Yeah. Okay. So this looks like this is just going to be part of smoothing the transition at the top. So these are all cut. There.
Timo is asking if we remember your first adult sci-fi fantasy reads. I'm assuming you mean like sci-fi or fantasy that was written for grown-ups as opposed to juvenile literature. I read a lot of different stuff as a kid. I read a bunch of Isaac Asimov short stories, probably before I was a teenager. And then I think I tried to read Lord of the Rings for the first time when I was pretty young. Didn't get too far with it the first time. So it was probably one of those.
Well, I don't know. I didn't read too much sci-fi.
Fantasy. You said sci-fi or fantasy?
I didn't read too much sci-fi because
yeah, so fantasy. What was your first?
Oh, my first fantasy. I think he said sci-fi. Oh,
I said sci-fi fantasy.
Adults. Probably Lord of the Rings. Because that was shelved in the teen section as well as elsewhere. I'm trying to think if there was anything else like that. A lot of the stuff that's on my shelf now is still like YA or even some of it's middle grade. Like I have Peter and the Starcatchers, and I have Inkheart, and of course Harry Potter, the Last Olympian series. Then I have other stuff too that I've gotten over the years. I have quite a bit of Stephen Lawhead stuff. Ted Dekker. That was probably
yeah. Frank Peretti.
Yeah.
I read some of his books for adults, but that probably wasn't the first stuff I read.
Yeah. It was probably the first stuff that I read that was like something that I thought of as adults, like that I actually got out of the adult section of the library, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Try to hold this farther. Oh, come on. I'm struggling. There we go. Do you have a green nubbin? What are these called?
I don't know.
Okay. And a curve. Thank you. Oh.
So this is just building a mechanism that's going to let it sit on a hinge.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is just reinforcing this hinge. It's very limited range of motion here on this. And there's the opposing piece, and this, which we were using to straighten things, goes on now.
Oh, another one was Terry Goodkine's Wizard's First Rule. I read that because I watched the TV show with my cousin.
Was that the Legend of the Seeker
Yeah.
show? Yeah, I remember when that show came out. Hey, Guilty Gearhead. I don't think I ever watched the show. But
yeah, I don't remember. That was in like...
Maybe I saw one episode of it or something.
That was in... Let's see, now I don't remember when it was. I was probably in high school. And I didn't have computer access like my cousin did. And so, like, we watched the entire thing. Sorry. While we were visiting.
What, did you just pirate it?
I don't know. I don't remember.
How did you watch it?
On the computer.
But like with DVDs or?
No, probably not.
So you just pirated the whole
I
thing?
have no idea. I have no clue. I assume that it was through legitimate means. I was a child. I didn't know better. Okay. All right.
Okay, so this is where it's going to stick on, and we're going to put some
Pins.
pins through to hold it in.
Pins through. Where are these going?
Here, let's flip this around.
Sounds good. Oh, that will make much more sense.
Oh, look at this. So this connects here into this.
Okay.
Okay, let's get the pins ready before we stick it on there.
Okay. This one is the gray one.
Yeah, we can't put them in. I'm just saying, let's get them in our hands.
I
They're
see.
all over by you.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so
where's the rest of it going? Like, is it setting below this?
Okay. So this slips in here. Like this. As soon as we get one in, we can do the rest. Whoops. All right, sorry, I gotta get this closer to see what's going on here. Oh, I've got it on the shifted over incorrectly. This doesn't go in between. It goes off the end.
Oh, okay.
Amazing how much easier this is when you can see what you're doing. Okay.
I see now. See, I've spent this whole time going, where are the pins going?
Sorry guys, this part requires. I got it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now let's see, this knocked over. Okay, so now with those two in, the rest should be a lot easier.
Interesting. It just sort of sets there.
Yep. And then this goes in here. All right, and then there's another one on this side. Okay, so you can see. Oops, can you get them back on? This comes in around here, and then the tower's going to come up around the roof at that point. So he's got a little. It's like a little writing nook. That's fun.
Yeah.
All right.
Hi to the ultimate kahuna.
Yeah, here. So you can do the rest of this page.
Oh.
Right? Because
I think this was your page. Yeah.
Nope, I did this.
Oh.
Wait, no. Yeah, I thought I did this.
You did.
Yeah.
Well, then I'll finish this side.
Yeah, so Doug Wise read H.G. Wells' Time Machine, 4th or 5th grade. You know, I probably read Time Machine pretty young too. I didn't really understand a lot of it, I think, but it was somewhere in there. My dad had these books that were collections of classic sci-fi short stories, and I read a bunch of them.
Okay. I see.
All right. So just building a last little bit of edging detail on the roof here.
Ultimate Kahuna says he read it. I'm assuming he was talking about Time Machine
Mhm.
for the first time recently. Really interesting book. Comments that it is fresh feeling compared to other sci-fi time travel stories.
Yeah, I could see that.
I don't like time travel. That whenever everyone's talking about the worst trope, that's the one.
Time travel.
That's the one for me. It's time travel. I don't.
That's pretty cool how that fits together, and they use this this little curved right angle point piece they use to fit in the corner. A lot of these angles aren't quite, things don't come out quite exact, but it still looks good. I mean, it comes out exactly as far as how it connects together, because otherwise that's illegal, and they avoid that. But yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah, it looks nice.
All right, and then we're building a little bird here that sits on the edge.
Cute.
So that's fun. What were you saying, babe?
Oh, time travel.
Yeah.
I don't mind traveling to other times. I mind we have to avoid changing the timeline.
Or intentionally change the timeline.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff. I don't. The intrigue and the what if we disappear and like I would just rather have just a cool story take place in an interesting setting.
Well, and that's how a lot of time travel stuff is, like Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Where it's just mainly we just got to go to a time. And I mean, usually they're just trying to survive. I mean, maybe you could say they're trying to preserve the timeline or something, but
yeah,
that's not a huge part of it.
Sam Goyer says he doesn't like when time travel is introduced at the last minute as a Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah, you better have some hint of it. Hint of it first. Did we ever use one of these?
Yeah, I used one.
Okay. All right, so little bird goes up here.
Oh, it's like a crane.
Yep.
That's kind of cool. The profile is a lot clearer.
I'm just going to look ahead here at the next bag. I'm not sure if we're going to do another bag tonight or not. Yeah, let's do another bag. It's building a tower. So there's no stickers or annoying tiny pieces or anything. So we might as well do it.
All right. Also, someone asks about Fate Unlimited Blade Works.
Oh no.
Was that an anime?
You watched Fate Stay Night. That's the one that's the Fate that you were watching, right? That's what it was called? Yeah, Fate Stay Night. That's the one that you were watching that I remember.
I remember.
That was the one with like those female versions of Knights of the Round Table or something, right?
No, the one that I'm thinking of is when like you have like once again I'm digging out 40, 11.
Well, I'm definitely thinking of the right thing. So.
Okay. Let me look at the. Yeah.
You watch so many anime that you've totally forgotten.
I only remember the stuff I review. That's how I have to write stuff down in order to remember it. Sorry, guys. I'm really struggling here. 45.
10. 10.
10. 10.
Look at the size of this bag. Look at all that stuff in there. This is going to be a good one. This is all tower wall and pieces. This would be like a $30 Lego set just by itself. Not even joking, right?
Yep. Oh, this is going to be a good one.
Yeah, this is and there's a lot of interesting side snot construction to do the circular tower. So, yeah, this is gonna be a really good one, and then we'll end on a high point.
Yeah.
After this. I'll take the big pieces. I can do the small ones.
Sounds good.
So Doug is saying that he hasn't touched a Lego set in 20 years, and he can hear the distinctive plastic wrapping. So one thing that's a little different, I don't know when you say 20 years, if you're saying like literally 20 years or 25, but one thing that is different, when I was a little kid, I remember all of the bags having holes in them. They were like full. The bags were full of holes. Like they were perforated with these small holes, and these are not like that. They are they're just normal plastic. Oh, yep. He knows what I'm talking about. And it must have been a different type of plastic, because I remember when I was a little kid too, Legos had a really distinct smell. And the new ones don't have that same smell. They don't have much of an odor at all. So I'm wondering if it changed the formulation of the plastic or the bag. And the other thing is, you probably noticed, is the bags are numbered, right? So when I was a little kid, so like before about the year 2000, you didn't get numbered bags. It was just everything was all in there, and you had to work your way through. But also sets didn't have nearly the number of pieces they do now. So I remember when I was a kid, I got what I considered to be a big Lego set. It had like 500 pieces, and now typically there's like a price to part ratio of about 10 pieces per dollar. So much smaller comparatively, factoring for inflation, sets. So like the top of each theme set, the biggest set used to be like, 600, 700, 800 pieces. Now they're like 1,200 or 1,500. About the same size of sets. More small pieces now. Yep. That's that new rounded surface.
Nonsense.
Yeah, I'm not the hugest fan. There were some of those, I think, in the.
Were there?
Yeah.
Oh, but those were like short, used for books. You had 2 of these.
Guilty Gearhead remembers the smell. It was like a very distinct kind of plastic smell. It must have been some particular formulation of the plastic. I don't really remember any other toys smelling that way as a kid. And my guess is it was the bags, because I don't think that they've really changed the formulation of the plastic too much. There's a couple of different kinds of plastic in Lego sets now, like the very tiny slope pieces are made out of a different type of plastic.
Okay, so here are some of the quote-unquote snot pieces.
Yeah.
We've got this black one with studs on top and on the side.
Mm-hmm.
This one.
They didn't have these small direction reversing pieces like this when I was a kid. There was a big one that was often used like for like telescopes and guns and sometimes chairs. And there were pieces like this. There was one that I distinctly remember that was like these four. It was like 4 of these put together. So it was the size of a 4x2 block, and then it had studs on
3 sides.
On 3 sides.
Okay.
But they now have these much smaller individual ones, and they have ones that come up from the bottom, and they also have ones that come down from the top that let you do the direction reversing in a really tight space. So that's all pretty new.
And then we have this one.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff like that now. And
then, of course, using stuff like this to do direction changes as well.
Yeah, and that stuff's been around forever.
Mm-hmm.
The Technic stuff. And like the little hinges. So like these are the same with the you snap them in and then they fold.
Mm-hmm.
But what you see more of nowadays is that these were almost always used to be used for actual like action features, like opening like canopies hinges, or things that folded. And now, especially in sets like this, you see these actually used to create things of a certain shape, where once it's all put together, it's going to be fixed. It's not going to move, but it lets you get an arbitrary angle.
Pretty cool. Ultimate Kahuna says, I love that we have watched you two build this thing for 4 streams, is what he corrects himself to, and it was still fun and entertaining. I appreciate that. I'm glad that it is for you guys.
Yeah,
because this is something that we enjoy, and this is allowing us to sort of multitask, doing 2 things that we enjoy
and get that sweet watch time on YouTube. Doug Wise comments that there's for sure a lot more variety with the pieces and a much greater commitment to rounded edges. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and in my opinion, they went a little bit too far. I'm not the hugest fan of like these tiny 1x1, like let's split a circle
Yeah.
let's like split a circle into 4 pieces. These are fairly new, like within the last couple of years, or stuff like this. I mean, it's like you can they're nice generic pieces, and I'd rather there be a lot of sort of generic pieces than a lot of like bigger specific pieces, because that's kind of what almost bankrupted Lego
Yeah.
in the past. But I also like how with Lego you can't get it perfect,
Yeah.
and that's something that I find appealing about toys in general, is just how there's a kind of a struggle to compromise being realistic or accurate with the thing and making it a fun toy and working within certain limitations.
Well,
So I don't mind things not being super realistic, like I wouldn't mind if these were all, I mean, there's a reason that they use these, but I wouldn't mind if they were all diamond shaped, or if these were just square little ones instead of curved.
Well, like, what about your Saturn V? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Like, that didn't have anything. Like, that's
No,
round.
I'll grab that.
This is a cool set.
Yeah. I'm not gonna take it apart because it's tricky. But this I'm not sure if this set is still in print. They have it's too big to fit all on camera. I'm not sure if it's still in print, or what the status of it is, but you can it's a really, really cool set to build because it's very complicated how the interior of it is built. You can see there's like there's 2 different radii of sort of circular shape before it gets to this part. And then there's a lot of detail on it where they they have all of the little edges and pipes and vents and things. Some of it's approximated, like on the real Saturn V, like this is a slope that kind of goes all the way to this to these vent parts. So they have to make some things. But overall it's like it looks very round. It's not, you don't look at it and think, oh yeah, it's a square with rounded corners, because it's actually very complicated how it all fits together on the inside. And they did that all without new special pieces. Also, the rockets of the Saturn V have what I consider to be really nice, what they call nice part usage, where you take something that sort of wasn't intended for a certain purpose and use it. So the rocket engines, the bottoms of the rocket engines are barrel baskets. And it looks like cool rocket engine detail. And you look at, oh, that's a barrel. There's some other nice part usage in the inside to build the lunar lander and stuff. I don't want to take that apart right now, but
each of these is its own thing that kind of has like a rotation, right, on the inside.
Yeah.
And then once it's all together, it doesn't. Yeah,
the interior of it is extremely complicated. It's probably like one of the most complicated sets I've ever built. There's all the pieces stack up, and there's they stack up and sit at different offsets and different angles with the studs facing out, so that you can lay those curved plates on the outside and get the nice angles. Yeah, I would highly recommend that Saturn V to anyone who has any kind of a bent towards space stuff. They have a whole line of NASA stuff that's all been pretty good. I always wanted to get and you can start it.
Oh,
this is your page.
I thought it was yours.
Nope, because I did the bird, remember?
Oh, okay. Sorry, guys. just been
They have
enthusiastically
they
listening.
have a
about the
lunar
rocket.
lander that is really cool because it's actually minifigure scale. You know, within kind of again within the limits of how it's possible to make stuff minifigure scale. And I was watching a review of it, and I noticed that there weren't any seats. The Lego minifigures have to stand in the inside the lunar lander, and I thought that was kind of awkward. But that's how the real lunar lander is. They stood inside of it.
Oh goodness, I see it. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I should probably try to get a hold of that set before it gets too expensive. Lego Star Wars has been a little bit of a bust lately, unfortunately. That's what I really liked to collect, and they haven't made a whole lot that I feel super excited about.
Yeah, I've been off of the Ninjago stuff too. That's the set, the theme that got me into Lego sort of on my own and not with David. It's just been kind of a dud. But I've been doing the Harry Potter stuff since they changed to the modular.
Yeah, all the Harry Potter stuff lately has been really good.
Before that, it was kind of lackluster.
The Harry Potter stuff.
Yes. Yeah. It was sort of geared towards younger kids.
It was modular too, except they were sort of bigger sets.
Yeah. Yeah. And kind of that
I didn't think they were all that great.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to like them, but I didn't.
Mm-hmm. I gotta do something here.
The new modular stuff is quite a bit smaller, but it's more detailed and more interesting looking, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Than the other stuff.
I think
I've built several of these.
Oh, I don't need this one yet. Oh, there it is. That's the one I need. Owie! Oh.
You want me to pull a couple of them back out?
It didn't. It's having me build them separately.
Yeah, you can build them together.
Ouch! That really hurt.
Uh-huh.
You're so mean to me. Babe, do you have another one? Could you pull one apart?
Can you just put them together? I mean, you're gonna put them on right away, right?
I don't know which.
Right. So.
Oh, Tuck.
Yeah. See. It's late. Ultimate Kahuna asks if that's why you review books, so you can remember them. Now, what did you have another?
That's why I was asking.
Oh no, I don't have another one.
Oh, there it is. I must have been using it earlier. All right.
You stick it on.
here.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Nice. Okay.
Look at that.
You can pass me some parts, babe.
Okay.
If you want. There's a lot of stuff over there that I'm gonna need.
All right. This bad boy.
That brick piece.
Oh, brick piece. And one of these. Part of why I review books, yes, so that I can remember them. Otherwise, I would be very scattered, especially with the sort of simultaneous switch for me to ebooks. I would have no way to easily see, wait, what did that author write? Did I read it? Did I finish it? Did I enjoy it? What were the things about it that I enjoyed? So that's part of why I review them. It's as much for myself as it is for other readers, I suppose. It helps me too to sort of process, to sit down and think about, well, I enjoyed that. Why did I enjoy that? And it's fun for me. I enjoy it a lot. Do you want to finish this? I did
No, sure.
this piece, so I think it's just the one that goes on the other side.
This. All right.
Nice. Starting to look very circular and towery. Having the properties of a tower.
Nice. You want to do
Sure.
this one? Starting to link things together inside. It's always fun.
Okay.
And
just one on each side.
And one in the front.
Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, okay.
Starting to link together stuff on the inside.
Wait, I think I missed something. Oh, I did not.
Nope.
Okay.
All right. It's kind of fun how they are using brown here. Like, it's wood, right? Like a wood frame inside the tower. Okay, and then I'm going to start on this. Want to pass me?
I tried to pass you.
Multiple of those black.
Oh,
ones.
you need more than that. Okay. Ultimate Kahuna has a question for me and a question for you. it is hard for me to pick what to read next. I don't waste time on it though. Like if I think that something isn't for me, I'll just stop.
Yeah.
And I do that because I don't, and I tell other people this, right? Like I don't think that any reader has an obligation to finish a book that they don't like just to say that they finished it. I think you can not like something before you finish it. So
oh, look at this nonsense. This is definitely
it's like a cyclops.
This is definitely new. It's a half circle
with one stud.
With a one stud offset. So like both of them, two of them together would make a two stud you could put across. That's funny. So we've got to build a few of these. This is gonna go fast. This.
I also don't. I don't go in like the order that people send them to me either. So if somebody sends me a book, I say write on my submission form on the website, and then I do it again at the bottom of the email, just like, hey, disclaimer. I can't tell you if or when a book will be reviewed, just because I don't like. It's a hobby for me, and I do it. I do it when I enjoy it, when I have time, and if another book is speaking to me, then I'm gonna read that one.
Yeah, you got to just read what you like. Yeah. If your goal is to try to read, you're not going to get very far by reading what you think you should.
Yeah. What it's gonna if you think I should read this and you don't like it, yeah, instead of,
that's a good way to burn yourself out.
Right. You're end up not reading at all.
Yeah.
And that's awful.
I start a lot of stuff that I don't finish, but I usually focus on whatever sounds good to me at the time.
Yeah.
And you're asking David, what do you do when you are stumped when writing a project? Do you mean stumped like writer's block, or can't resolve a plot point, or just looking for ideas, or anything in particular? Because I can talk about how I brainstorm or different things like that. I might have something similar to say about that as what Katie said about reading, which is, I think if you're trying to write something and, so some people would say, they're like, oh, writer's block isn't the thing. If you have writer's block, it means you don't want to write. I disagree with that. Because you can definitely want to write something, but then be stuck on how to work out a plot detail or something like that. You can have a picture in your head without knowing the specifics, and you want to do it right, so you can be stuck on specifics. I think it's important to write what you are excited about, though. I mean, there's certain times when you have to just push through stuff, but I think it's a bad sign. Like if you're spending a bunch of time writing stuff that you're not excited about, should maybe think about what you're doing. Okay, so he's clarifying, if you encounter a problem in the story that you have trouble resolving right now, I am more of a discovery writer, so I will usually know in my head where the story is drained. Yeah, so I have experimented with both plotting and discovery writing. I think sometimes like both are useful. I think just writing is important because you can discover a lot about your setting just by having characters in the world doing stuff. I got a lot of good ideas from my story from just writing, and I think you can definitely write towards the ending of a story without knowing exactly how it's going to end. At the same time, I think you do have to be careful with that, right? I have a bunch of stuff that I abandoned and probably will never finish because I was writing without having a good enough idea of where it's going to go. So to work through that stuff, I do a lot of brainstorming. So when writing, it's good to have goals, and like one of the easiest ways you can have a goal is to have a word count. So something that I will do is, if I'm not ready to write because I don't have things worked out, I will try to do a certain number of words of brainstorming. So I will just write, and not trying to write anything polished, but just get ideas, just kind of try to write out my thoughts. And then I also will do that with dictation. So take out my phone and just record myself talking out loud. Can kind of help stimulate your brain in ways that doesn't happen when you are only just thinking. So I would say trying to write out some brainstorming or dictate some brainstorming is probably one of the best ways to get ideas, because you will definitely come up with all kinds of, or at least for me, I come up with all kinds of combinations of things and find interesting connections between things that I wasn't thinking about if I'm just thinking about it. I almost feel like the older I get, I feel like I need to write to be able to think well. Like I just don't, a lot of times I don't have very clear thinking when it's only thinking. So like if you're stuck, try to still get something down, even if it's you working through stuff. I think that's important. Okay, so what we're building here is more of these little shapes, because this is an eight-sided tower. So we're going to go through here and do the did you want to do a couple of them?
No, that's all right. Oh, I suppose these are
here. I
could try.
Just give you a little. Just so you get a chance to do a couple of these.
They crammed them all onto one page, didn't they?
Yep.
When you were building it, I was looking at this page, so I thought you were a lot further along when you were doing that one.
No. Well, no, I'm doing that.
Yeah, you are now.
Yeah. Ultimate Kahuna is having struggles with autocorrect. All right, so now we've got these diagonally placed bricks, so we can pop these in.
Look at that.
Isn't anything super crazy, but it's still cool.
That's awesome. I like this kind of building.
Mm.
And I get the
You get
giant
to cap it
chunks.
off.
Cap it off.
Here, make sure you're on camera.
Yes.
I was trying to avoid getting your computer in frame. I don't know if there's anything on there
I don't think so.
that matters. Doug Wise says, concerning reviewing and giving a book you're reading 10 to 20% before calling it a day, have you ever found yourself, say, wavering in the first 5 to 10% and then growing to actually like it in the next 5 to 10%?
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah, absolutely.
Probably a lot of books tend to have a slow start.
Yeah.
I think that's probably a common problem in a lot of books, and probably especially with indie fiction.
Yeah. And you don't always know where something is going. And sometimes it just comes down to like not having an editor, tell you really shouldn't start your book with a wedding, like that kind of stuff.
The main character wakes up, gets out of bed, brushes their teeth, looks at themselves in the mirror so you know what they look like.
Yep. One of the books that I didn't review, but
you can basically start passing all of these over into this middle section, right?
Oh, okay.
I mean, they're all going to get used in the next couple pages because we're almost done.
That's true. I was like, you're going to use all of these? I had a guest review of it, was Adam Lane Smith's Gideon Ira book, the first one. I reviewed the fourth, one of the later ones in the series.
Who did the guest review of the first one? Was that John Delarose?
No.
Fenton Wood? Somebody did it.
Somebody did it. Now I'm forgetting who. Can take a look here. And
we are actually going to use almost all of these, babe, in this page. Because there's 4 of these.
Little constructions.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, and it's not even Gideon Ira's book that I'm thinking of. It is the first book of his
Ghost Blade.
Yes, Ghost Blade.
The ill-fated
I was so excited.
Gamelit.
I was so excited about that series.
That was cool because that was the one that had the internal illustrations. It was like a light.
Yeah,
it was supposed to be like
novel.
A light novel.
Yeah.
And then I think all he ever put out was just one, right?
Yeah. I think he had more written.
Probably.
But I sincerely hope he publishes them again under like a pseudonym or a.
You hope he repents of having like 1 million TikTok followers. I'm
not saying that. But like the story started out with like it started out really slowly.
It started out with a wedding.
Yep. And it was like down in the weeds of like a wedding.
That was kind of his writing style, though.
Yeah. Yep. But I ended up really, really enjoying that. But I usually try to give it actually more like 20 to 30%, because by 30%, I should have Act 1 under my belt. And I should definitely be able to tell. I should have a clear sense of where the story is going.
And you're a pretty fast reader, so it doesn't take you forever to get to that point.
No. And sometimes if I think that maybe I should go back and give this one another try, I will. I'll open it up again and read a couple more pages. Usually at the end of those couple pages, I'm like, yep, this is a good decision.
You're really done at that point. Or did you mean that you would keep reading if you tried it again?
I would try it again, and
usually you're
yes, it was a good decision to quit.
quit. Yeah, I thought that's what you were saying.
Yes, that's what I meant. And that doesn't necessarily mean that no one else will like that book.
Yep.
I actually know of an example right off the top of my head of a book that I was like, this is not for me.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody else, another reader, right? Not another writer, but like another reader who reviewed it really, really liked it. Someone I know personally and respect their opinion. So actually I have 2 examples on the top of my head. So it's very much, that's why I try and emphasize with Parapsis Press that like the standard is whether or not I liked it. It's not really.
Yeah, we're not really in the business of making objective judgments about stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, part of the fun of indie fiction is that you can kind of do whatever you want. So if you want to start your book off with a wedding and make it really boring, it's your book. Go for it.
If you want to describe the perfect wedding, in all its idyllic glory, to start off your game-lit novel,
your action book.
Yep, your pulpy game-lit action story, light novel. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, that looks awesome.
So not quite done with the tower. There's more that goes on top of the tower, right? Yeah.
I think so.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot more. So that'll be next time.
We'll probably finish the book next time. Start the second one.
Yeah. So tune back in next time. See the end of the tower. That's going to be another nice bag.
Yeah.
A lot of awesome stuff here. So, and that's starting to look a lot more presentable.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's kind of hard to see, but like this thing is huge, right? I mean, this by itself would be like $150, $200 Lego set. I mean, it's big. You can just see how much room there is in the interior.
There's a lot of
how much space there is,
maneuverability,
and then like how big like that writing nook is. There's a lot of space in there. I'm
knocking furniture
around. But look at that! I can reach my whole hand in there to get it back approximately where it was. Yeah.
I like that little chair.
Yep. Very, very good stuff. And the roof tiles were not really a pain at all.
No.
Right. It's fine.
I had fun.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll be back maybe later. Maybe later this week, maybe not.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and my website is parapsispress.com, and I do reviews of indie sci-fi and fantasy. And David is focusing on his projects, looking to put out something new soon.
Not
maybe.
Soon.
Well,
eventually. I don't have anything to show right now.
No,
so.
Right, but he hasn't been idle.
No, I'm definitely working on stuff. So things are coming. Yes, drawing spaceships. So Doug knows what I'm doing.
Yeah. Good stuff.
All right.
Our girly likes to sit next to him.
Yeah.
And pretend she gets her keyboard.
Yeah.
And her mouse, and she pretends she makes things too.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, have a good night. See you guys later.
Have a good night.